my opinion, one of the greatest yet callous Primarchs is Ferrus Manus. His origin story proves that although a loyalist, his intentions and actions were always cold and calculating compared to his other brother Primarchs. And that's what we're going to talk about today in another episode of 40 Facts About the 40K Universe. If you're new to the channel, allow me to introduce myself. I am your host Gersh1, your guide through the grimdark universe of Warhammer 40,000. If you want to learn more about the Primarchs or the Iron Hand Space Marine chapter, please subscribe to the channel and check out the playlists. And if you like this style of lore content, please click the like button and share with your friends on Facebook or Twitter. But with all that said, let's get into 40 facts and lore on the origin of the Primarch Ferrus Manus. As with all of the Primarchs, the story of the Forge Master Ferrus Manus begins at the end of the Unification Wars, but before the beginning of the Great Crusade, when the Emperor's gene laboratories were assaulted by the ruinous powers of chaos, and these foul creatures scattered the 20 Primarchs across the galaxy. For the demigod that would become known as the Gorgon, his gestation capsule landed on the feral world of Medusa. Now, Medusa was a planet lost but not forgotten by mankind. The world was several times larger than Earth, and during the Dark Age of technology, when humanity was spreading across the stars, this world was deemed of great importance to mankind, for within its depths were rare core strata deposits that provided untold wealth and resources for humanity. This led to an incredible feat of mining where the early human settlers created tireless robotic engines that not only dug up the planet's riches, but also protected the entire operation from the predations of rival xenospecies. Now, exactly who these aliens were has been lost to time. Nevertheless, the extracted minerals fed not only the neighboring star systems, but even made its way back to humanity's most glorious forge world, Mars itself. However, when the Age of Strife began and disconnected Medusa from the rest of humanity, just as it did to almost every major planet, the human population left on this rich mining world tried its best to survive the turmoil of the doomed era without resupply or reinforcements from the rest of humanity. This proved terribly difficult, as the planet itself had become a dark and polluted world where its sun rarely broke through, and the land of frozen mountain ranges, volcanoes, and boiling hot geysers constantly churned, creating new seas and continents as quickly as they were destroyed. Confronted by the near unlivable surface conditions created by the planet's violent climate, the human survivors devolved into techno-barbarian savages that were forced to migrate across the planet's shifting mountain ranges. As a former territory of Mars, the Medusans retained a dim version of the cult Mechanicus, but ultimately even this degenerated into a superstition-ridden faith, where the pursuit of knowledge was overpowered by strange cybernetic and mechanical mythology. The nomadic human warbands became scavengers more so than creators or any form of scientist. They gathered into mobile semi-tribal clans that centered around massive fortified land crawlers that were recovered and repurposed from the ancient mining and harvesting engines of the past. From these massive vehicles, they raided and foraged for resources while sadly warring amongst each other for whatever scraps they could find. They were a savage and unforgiving people, slavers and killers whom the battle to survive was unrelenting. It was a bloody struggle in which only the strongest prospered. It was in this harsh environment that the Primarch Ferrus Manus crash-landed, breaking through the polluted skies and impacting the ice pinnacle known to the locals as Karashi, the highest mountain peak. The arrival of the child Primarch was felt all over the world as his gestation capsule buried itself deep into the mountaintop core, setting off a chain reaction that toppled mountain ranges and created great chasms throughout Medusa. It was this planet-shaking landing that began the legend of the Primarch amongst the locals. Now, what made the location of the Primarch's arrival so important was the mythology behind this accursed land. To the nomadic techno-barbarian clans, the northern polar region of Karashi was a place haunted by slumbering iron-skinned monsters that slaughtered anyone foolish enough to enter their land. The ice that covered this land was black and ever-present. How exactly the young demigod survived all alone is a mystery only he and the Emperor know. But the tribes of Medusa began to tell tales of a wandering warrior with the strength to cast down hulking metal thunder giants, slaughtering murderous machine creatures, and performing superhuman feats of cunning and strength. His greatest action was an epic battle against a great silver worm known as Azernoth. This enormous serpent-like machine stalked the lands of Shadow, a region of the north steeped in superstition, viewed by the techno-barbarian clans as an underworld haunted by ghost spirits and guarded by this giant creature. Ferrus Manus tracked the beast for days, hunting it across the dark and shadowy land until it finally caught it. Striking the silver construct repeatedly with his mighty fist, the worm took no damage. The impervious metal engine fought back for days, and the two godlike beings fought one another in what seemed like a futile battle. That is until the young, clever Primarch drew the creature into molten magma. The skin of the great silver engine finally broke, and as it squirmed to death, a portion of the creature's skin splattered on the Gorgon's hands and forearms. Somehow, the metal fused itself to the Primarch's body, and his arms would forever be coated in the creature's impervious skin. It is believed by the Imperial savants that this silver worm was in fact a Necron construct, protected by some form of necrodermis. This allowed him to use his hands to mold and shape molten metal thanks to the xenotechnology. Having killed the most dangerous creature in the Land of Shadows, the Primarch strode forth from this forbidden realm. Fearful clans did not welcome this silver-handed demigod with open arms. Instead, the Gorgon had to batter the scattered clans into submission. Proving to be unstoppable, he quickly took lordship of many of the migrating clans. However, he never quelled conflicts or brought peace to the land. Instead, he demanded the secrets of the technological wonders held by the Iron Fathers of each clan. These were half-tech priest, half-shaman who ministered to their clan's spiritual and mechanical needs. The cunning Primarch enhanced each technological marvel, and through his teachings, the clans forged better weapons and stronger machines with which to wage ever more brutal wars. He allowed these great battles to take place in order to pick out the bravest and strongest warriors of the clans and dive back into the frozen realms of the Black Mountains, leading campaigns that broke open long-sealed vaults and ice-buried territories. They were filled with degenerate mutants, living dead cyborgs, and dark engines of nightmares of ages past. With each new victory, Ferrus Manus brought back new technology and riches for the clans of Medusa. Although not a unified people, the Gorgon was seen as a warlord sage that reigned over his planet. That is until the arrival of the Emperor and the fleets of the Great Crusade. And that is the origin to Ferrus Manus. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys are interested in learning more about the origin stories of the other Primarchs, I'll put a link up above to a playlist. Also a different video where it goes over all of the Traitor origin stories. So for all of the Traitor Primarchs, Lorgar is my favorite. You should really check that out. Also just check out the archives if you're new to the channel. We have a ton of Warhammer 40K lore videos. If you guys have suggestions for any other topics, let me know in the comment section below. And if you guys want to talk about anything I missed with the origin of Ferrus Manus, or anything you guys want to add, the Iron Hands or anything like that, I'll be in the comment section talking to you guys so we can talk there. Thank you guys so much for listening and hanging out with me. And a new thing that is happening for the channel, or all of YouTube, is this like super chat type of thing. Basically, it's like you can support the videos that you like by giving like a super chat. It's down in the description below, or I think it's by the like button, but it's kind of like Patreon, where you can tip whatever you want, and then that helps us create more videos. So thank you guys ahead of time if you want to give us a super chat. I think it pops up, and then you can add comments and stuff like that. So if you guys have suggestions, the super chat is there, and we'll talk to you guys in the next episode. With that said, this was Gershwin with One Mind Syndicate signing out.